All right, guys, welcome back to the Clack Shack, and it's kind of like an early Christmas here, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I went ahead, as many of you know, me and my current camera setup have been kind of on the outs for a little while. We haven't always agreed. Some days it does me a great job. Other days it is the source of my frustration. So I had been kind of waiting and doing a lot of research, trying to figure out what I wanted to get. And I have finally made a decision, and I've ordered it. And my good folks at Amazon have came through for me, and it showed up today. But unfortunately, guys, this story does not have a happy ending. They shipped it without the battery being charged. So I'm having to sit and wait on batteries to charge right now. So stick around for a minute. I'm going to just kind of walk through, what I got and why I got it. And then hopefully, before I can get all of this done, the batteries will be charged up enough that I can kind of do a little bit of video with it. I want to use it in the video that I'm going to do about the canvases. I've been playing with some settings and doing some other stuff, and we'll go over that as well. And hopefully that video will be coming out here soon. So stick around for a minute. All right, guys, first of all, I'd like to say sorry I've been away. Work has been a little crazy during the day. My afternoons have pretty much been staying over late at work, 12, 13-hour days. And then by the time I got home, it was just, coming out here was just not really an option. So I've been a little behind, dragging a little bit, but it's hopefully we're going to get back to it. For those of you that haven't noticed or didn't notice, I got some Christmas trees over there that I worked on the other day, and got those being put together for a local photographer. They're going to be kind of props for some Christmas-themed photos coming up here shortly. I've got a couple more things I'm working on for her, and going to get those out to her. So the Clack Shack, some of the Clack Shack swag will be in a whole bunch of pictures by the end of Christmas season. But anyway, guys, back to the big topic for me today. Anyway, the rest of you may not be something you're interested in, but to me, this is awesome because the Nikon that I'm currently using to record, I've had that thing for about 6 or 7 years now, and it was an older camera when I got it. So it is aged, it is dated, it doesn't have a lot of the capabilities that makes video recording and editing easy these days. So I decided after much YouTubing and watching reviews and research, and I come up with a list of what did I need in a camera. I needed it to be small, I needed it to do good videos, I needed it to have good sound, I needed good focus that would work with me when I'm trying to show you guys things, and like when I hold something up, I wanted it to be able to focus on an object and that kind of thing. Well, this camera is supposed to have all those features. And it also has this cool little remote. The one that I'm using right now, guys, when I look at that camera, there is nothing on the front of it that tells me whether it's recording or not. I do have the receiver for my microphone clipped over there so that I can see that my microphone's working, but if that camera stops recording, if I don't hear that little click when it powers off, I got to start all over. Well, this guy has a nice, cool little flip-out screen here that just kind of comes out and flips around, and so you can actually see what the camera sees. It also has a red indicator light over here that lets you know that it's recording. It's got a little dead rat, kind of like the one that I use on my microphone here, in case I, breathe too heavy into it or whatever. It's got a little dead rat microphone cover that goes here that will work as a microphone, and it has another internal one from my understanding. Like I said, I've still got to learn some of the modes and all that, guys. It's a fairly simple design, and the way it's kind of like one of those old point and shoots that you used to have. And I've had an older Sony camera that I used at work, and it was a pretty good camera. So this is my first adventure with a camera. This camera does shoot in 4K, I will tell you that. I'm going to attempt to do some 4K stuff. I have about a gig of internet, so hopefully uploading 4K won't be an issue. That might give you a little bit better quality. It might even make me look a little better in the videos. I doubt it. I don't think this thing is quite to that level of being able to perform miracles, but it might make me look better in 4K. Or you may want me to turn it down to 640. We'll figure it out. But anyway, guys, I'm waiting on the batteries to charge right now for this guy. The handle comes off of the camera, of course, and it goes on a tripod, but the handle also allows me to be able to zoom and start and stop video and stuff like that remotely. And I don't know that I'll be using it like this as much as I will just have it handy for when I'm doing videos. I can actually zoom in, zoom out, whatever, from over here. So I think that'll be pretty cool. But I got the whole setup. I got it on Amazon. It was right around $1,000. It came with an SD card, but the SD card it came with was less quality than what I've been using. Being a tech guy, I kind of overkill on my SD cards. This one came with a 64. I currently run 128 in the Nikon, so I'm going to stick with that card and just move it over to this camera. And I've put the 64 that it came with in that one because I still will use that one for anything long distance that I need to record or any kind of photographs that I want to take. I'll probably still play around and use that one, especially until I learn this thing. Once I learn this guy, I may not. So, but anyway, guys, I've got the canvases. I'm working on let me go ahead and throw this out there for you guys. I had a lot of guys asking me, can you do some canvas? Can you do some canvas? Can you do some canvas? Canvas is not really my strong suit, guys. I can do it. I have done them. My way is not necessarily something that I can write down instructions on how I to go about doing them and tell you how to, every time and guarantee you every time that you're going to have good results, because sometimes guys, I wreck these things. Sometimes you can hold them up and see through them when I get done. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to come up with a method that is cheap, using, cheap purchased little canvases. It's easy, and there's a defined way that you can go about doing it. And so I'm doing some testing right now to try to come up with what's the easiest and what's the fastest and what's the best results that I can get. So once I do that, I'll make the video on it. I've did a couple of trial runs, and with the 20 watt, I have vastly underestimated the power settings. So I did a test burn, and it looked pretty good on this particular canvas. But what I ran into is I forgot how many layers of paint were on these canvases. So when I set up my first run to do it, I had apparently nowhere near the amount of paint on that one as I did on these. So what I've had to do, guys, is I've backed up, because this thing just feels thicker than this one. So what I have had to do, guys, is I backed up, and so I have a little more control in my experiment, and I have purchased some black canvas and some white canvas, and these are medium grain canvas. And just to let you guys know, canvas is not really my thing. I didn't know there was such a thing as a medium grain, but apparently you can get a fine grain, a medium grain, and then I'm guessing maybe a really crappy grain. So because these are medium grain, both of them are. And I do notice that if you look at this canvas, I don't know where I got these from, and that was another problem, is I didn't know where these came from, and I didn't want to be telling you, hey, go get these, and not know where to tell you to go get them. So the grain on these is substantially larger, like the little lines that you can see. On this one, they're larger than they are in this one. It's like it's knitted a little bit tighter. So I'm thinking these are going to be better, and these are panels as opposed to the wooden framed stretched canvas, and it seems that it would probably be a little bit better for laser engraving. And then afterwards, you could actually put this in a picture frame without having to come up with a special frame. I've seen couple people have mentioned that they do them, but then they got to figure out how to frame them and so forth. But this type of a canvas, to me, for what I do, would be easier for me to work with, because I can actually build a cut file and build a frame that you could take this canvas once you've engraved it, and I can build a cut file, and it would be where you could cut it on the D1 X Tool D1, and you could actually lay that canvas in between a couple of pieces of linoleum, or not linoleum, a couple of pieces of Luan or other material, even acrylic if you wanted to, and have a frame for this. So that's the whole thing that I'm working on. And I don't want to do the video until I've got everything figured out and everything worked out. And so then we'll get that out there. But I'm going to see if the battery's charged up on this camera for a few minutes, guys. This is just me testing the camera before it's anything too important. So I'm going to go over to this other camera now, try to, if I've got a battery with enough juice in it to do anything. And I'm going to do a few clips and just walk around and try some different things and set it up the way that I would be using it. See what the quality's like and let you guys see what we got coming and see what you think, get a little input on whether it's going to be a help or not. So give me just a few minutes to get everything reset up, and bear with me, guys. This is my maiden voyage with this camera. So I haven't even, the battery was charged up enough to turn it on, set the time and date, and then shortly thereafter it powered itself off. So I'm waiting on the batteries to get a little juice in them. But I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, one of the things that I wanted to check with this camera is it claims that it's got stabilization on it. I'm not sure if I've got it turned on or not, but I'm just kind of playing around with the controls right now. Background defocus mode, that should take pretty much everything in the background and kind of throw it out of focus and throw me in focus. So hopefully that's working. The screen's over here to the right, so I'm going to be looking at the screen a lot because I'm trying to learn how to work everything on this. I don't have the little wind boot on the camera right now. I'm just using the mic that is built into it without all that. So just going to walk around. All right, guys, walking up to the mill. Keep in mind, now, I'm not using this mic with this camera in this mode. I'm trying to see how it would be if I didn't use this mic when I'm just walking around or showing you guys something. So, walking up the hill to the mill. There's a bunch of leaves crunching and all that good stuff. And the light also, you know, being that most of my stuff is outside, whether it's up here at the mill or, you know, messing with the bees or whatever, a lot of it's outside. So I just kind of wanted to see how this guy was going to do. So kind of go walk over through the mill shed too, see what that looks like. But yeah, it's tracking me good. That's some pretty good tracking. And I want to see what kind of colors and clarity I get. All right, never mind the mess up here, guys. Haven't been able to do a lot of milling lately. As you can see, the hood's up on the mill. I got 2 new belts I got to put on there. I broke them and haven't used it, so I hadn't put the belts back on it yet. All right, guys, one more last check before I wrap this thing up. I'm gonna just check my microphone and see how the clarity is on the wireless mic. I do have the background defocus turned on the camera, and to try to see if that changes the look of everything. And I can also turn that off, put it back on clear. And so just wanting to check everything, make sure it works, guys. I'm going to be getting to the next video here shortly, but hopefully this camera upgrade will make things a little better. All right, guys, I'm outside again. The wind's still blowing, but I've got the little dead rat on there to cover the mic up. And I changed it over to 4K. I don't know if there's even going to be a noticeable difference for most of you, depending on what you're watching the videos on. It may or may not. I'm going to try this defocus mode again. There we go. Defocus and clear focus. So those are going to be some pretty cool features, I think. I think this camera is actually going to help improve the quality of the video. It can't do much with this, guys, but it should help the quality of the video at least. So thanks for sticking it out with my testing, and feel free, guys, give me some feedback and let me know what you think. I'm gonna get back in there and get back to work on the video for the canvases, and hopefully I can try to get that out. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow night. So thanks and have a good day.